Imagine packing up your life, landing in a country filled with sunshine, pastel-colored towns, and pastries so good you'll be happy to gain 10 pounds, only to then discover the rules of living there are changing faster than you can say bom dia. That's the conversation swirling around Portugal right now. And everyone, retirees, remote workers, families, digital nomads, is asking, is Portugal still worth moving to in 2026? Or has the golden age quietly ended? Today, we're cutting through the hype, the online outrage, and the dramatic headlines. No fairy tales, no fear-mongering, just the real story of what's shifting in Portugal, the good, the challenging, and the wait, what moments. And before we jump in, a quick heads up, if you're serious about moving abroad, whether it's Portugal or Spain or anywhere else in Europe, make sure you check us out at Expat Livin. I have linked some of our resources below. My team and I put together visa guides, relocation checklists, and we have a community of people already who have made this leap. So it will save you months of guesswork. So let's talk about the online storm versus real life reality. If you scroll social media, you'll think Portugal woke up one morning and decided foreigners were the new national enemy. Comment sections, chaos, Reddit threads, flames, headlines, dramatic. But everyday life here tells a more grounded story. People still interact kindly, neighborhoods still feel warm and familiar, and while frustration does exist, as it does in many other countries, it's not the universal outsiders go home sentiment that it sometimes is portrayed as. The truth is simple, Portugal is small, so every shift feels louder. But my sources do agree that the lived experience on the ground is calmer than the online narrative. So what's the big shakeup here? Citizenship and residency rules. Well, the real story is for years, Portugal was famous for having one of the shortest citizenship timelines in Europe, just 5 years for legal residency. But now, well, a new nationality proposal aims to extend that time frame to about 10 years, potentially making it one of the longer pathways to the EU. And because of the existing bureaucratic delays, some people could realistically wait even longer before their passport becomes a reality. An important caveat here, though, is that the law isn't quite final yet. It's still waiting on reviews and authorizations, but the shift signals the direction Portugal is moving to, and that's the government isn't closing its doors, but it's tightening its processes. So why these changes are happening right now? Well, Portugal's foreign resident population has more than doubled in the last 5 years. Motivations for such population increase vary. It could be due to people coming with genuine long-term intentions. Others come primarily to secure EU access, or some don't integrate at all. They stay briefly and then leave. Like many countries facing rapid growth, Portugal is trying to protect its cultural identity while managing the strain on its systems. This isn't anti-foreigner, it's pro-integration. The message is, if you come here, be part of Portugal, not just a visitor with paperwork. And we are seeing that sentiment across many countries right now. And if this breakdown is already giving you something to think about or some clarity about Portugal, do me a favor, hit the like button so that you can get access to more videos like this with real, honest information. And if you want personalized guidance on visas, taxes, or just figuring out which country actually fits your lifestyle, again, check us out. Check out our free tools and resources at expatlivin.com. They've helped thousands of people plan their move with confidence. So let's talk about the bureaucratic mess. There is no way to sugarcoat it. The immigration system in Portugal is overwhelmed. The transition from the SEF to the AIMA has been rough. Some applicants wait 2 years or more to get their residency cards, and many feel stuck, legal on paper, but unable to travel. Appointments are backlogged, and processes feel inconsistent. But this isn't because the country is collapsing or anything bad like that. It's because the immigration system grew faster than the infrastructure behind it. This is a messy middle of modernization, and again, we are seeing similar patterns in other countries around the world. For over a decade, Portugal's NHR program was a magnet for retirees, home income earners, remote workers, and even returning Portuguese nationals. However, as of 2025, the classic NHR is now gone. And in its place is a newer NHR 2.0, which is focused on attracting people in the STEM-related fields like tech, science, healthcare, innovation, and specific sectors in Portugal where they want to grow. And that's not to say that it's not a great place to retire, but retirees will have to reevaluate the cost savings analysis as the system no longer provides the same generous exemptions they once did. If someone's financially plan is to rely heavily on the old NHR system, then the 2026 Portugal may feel very different. Digital nomad debate. Lisbon and Porto became hotspots for remote workers, and with popularity came criticism. And here's what the debate misses. Many of those digital nomads are actually Portuguese citizens themselves, earning more through international remote work than they could earn locally. So the conversation isn't really locals versus foreigners, it's local wages versus global wages. And what happens when the world shifts faster than the economy? Well, Portugal wants to build a tech-forward future, but it also wants to preserve its cultural identity and affordability. Finding this balance is a challenge. Then there's also the real issues like housing and healthcare. Some of the other major issues are core challenges that have been part of Portugal that didn't necessarily start with immigration, like the dramatic increase in housing costs or healthcare wait times having increased. Immigration becomes the easy headline or target, but history shows that these systemic issues existed before the surge of newcomers. So, is Portugal still worth moving to in 2026? Well, here's the honest truth. Portugal is still an amazing place to live, but the rules are changing and it may not have the same financial advantage as it did 5 years ago. For example, if someone is just looking for a quick EU passport, a simple immigration process, big tax breaks, a low cost of living in big cities, then Portugal may not be the best match anymore. But if someone wants a feeling of community, to be a part of a beautiful culture, a slower lifestyle, safety, access to natural beauty, and a long-term belonging, then Portugal continues to offer all of that deeply and genuinely. The bottom line for 2026 is Portugal isn't shutting its doors. It's simply asking newcomers to show commitment to the culture, to the language, and the community. And people, who will thrive in Portugal moving forward are the ones willing to learn a language, that's Portuguese, participate in local life, navigate bureaucracy with patience, think long-term, and integrate rather than isolate themselves. Again, Portugal isn't saying no, it's saying be part of us. And for the right person, that's still a resounding yes. If this breakdown has helped you understand Portugal's reality in 2026, stick with Expat Livin, where we share more honest, practical guides on visas, relocation, culture, cost of living, and everything in between. As always, we want to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment or share this video so that other future expats can get real information instead of rumor-filled headlines. See you on the next ones, my friends. Happy travels.